This time, we want to introduce you to the Manhwa series called Super God Card Maker. The story is about an unlucky young programmer who dies from overwork. Thank goodness he didn't go straight to hell. If you think you were born in another body, there will be a brighter future. As soon as he woke up, he had to take on a huge debt of his own. In a place where craftsmanship is a very prominent profession, can reap the money. He came to this place, whether he could do anything to repay the debt or not. The main male name is Ming, a programmer who loves his job, working with computers every day. A person who lives by the motto making salted fish should be very lazy to walk. Not only did he have to work 16 hours a day, but he had to deal with the many demands of the brainless product manager. Fingers tapping so constantly that they were covered with bandages, forever miserable, finally died in front of the computer. Yes, the male lead died of labor. He thought he was dead by the end of the movie. No wonder, at the moment the light shone in his eyes, his life had turned anew. What the hell is going on? What is this place? Ming wondered when he found himself standing in a strange room. He staggered in front of the mirror. In front of him was a very strange boy. He stood blankly for a moment, then immediately screamed with an intense bewildered look on his face. He remembers before that, the product manager demanded to change his idea at the last minute. He had to write code late at night. His head hurt like he wanted to crack. His consciousness began to fade. Finally, being both stressed and tired, he couldn't resist but collapsed in front of the computer screen. But no matter, the previous life he had swam through, now his soul was in a different body. He's so young and so passionate. He's so cool. Excited, the owner's memory suddenly came to him. Ming floated between a lot of extremely realistic footage. So he know that, this body is only 16 years old, a student of a vocational and technical academy. The family conditions are good, the parents are healthy, and there is also a very beautiful older sister. But wait, the absent-minded eyes suddenly glowed like headlights. What did he just see? This sister is really beautiful. But he couldn't understand why when he thought of this older sister, he was a little confused by strange feelings that weren't quite right. He turned around and hurriedly turned the blanket over to check. As soon as he saw the artifact, his face became distorted and distorted. These are all books written about sisters that make people excited. At first, he thought that he was a minor, so he often saw these things. It wasn't until he looked at the rubbish bin next to him that he dimly understood everything. The boy was lucky and knew this was wrong, so he ran away from home. Running to a distant city, choosing to become a card maker. Wait a minute, what is a card maker? Ming asked himself. He came to this world for the first time, so it was the first time he had heard of it. But according to his body's memories, he knew that the card maker was an auxiliary occupation. In simple terms, the card maker is to combine a variety of abilities, illusions, images and other things encapsulated in a blank card. It can be easily used after being made into a card. If the card maker is strong enough, he can encapsulate everything into it. The little thing that was floating in front of him was called the original card. Every card maker has an original card. Using the original card can encapsulate the energy lower than the original card itself. Then draw the ability into the card. Through the card maker brings the ability to make cards for them to easily use. It's the same as disc recording. But it seems that this Ming has a very bad endowment, so the only card making technique is just a one-star card. The memories continued to flow, and soon after Ming arrived in the city, his sister arrived. To defend his last honor against his sister, he ran to the good brothers of the Three Kingdoms and signed usury papers to open a card shop and become a small boss. For God's sake, remember this, Ming wakes up. He frantically searched for his phone, then took out a loan to check it out. A long number immediately caught his eye. Ming hugged his head and shouted loudly. He just woke up with debt on my head. The number was so high that he had never seen it in his entire life. Ming lay on the bed, desperate for breath. Suddenly, he remembered something. This guy was only 16 years old, so he had nothing to mortgage for them. Memories go to another place. This time, unexpectedly, there was a picture of his older sister with a bad girl appearance in a short dress. Oh my God. Ming knelt on the floor, loan shark and hot photos. He know all too well about this stuff. Once the money is not paid back, those guys will distribute the photos everywhere. From now on, the repetition of the company is in ruins. The image of the person is collapsed. He wanted to get angry, knocking on the door. In his previous life, he died from overwork. Now changing the body, the fate is even more tragic than before. He was unlucky to kick his foot into the door, crying without tears. Now that the door was open, he had a chance to go outside and look at the store. Unlike the cluttered bedroom, this place is very clean. Ming continued to push the big door, immediately overwhelmed by the scenery outside. On the left is the goods, on the right is the discount, in front is the store, in the back also is the store. Surrounded by so many small shops, he held his head in terror. The competition is fierce. His 1-star energy card has not been closed yet, which is a lucky thing. Ming was sad when a couple of men and women came. The opponent asked him if he could customize the fantasy cards. He had not yet answered when the man disparaged his little shop, had certainly not what they needed, and dragged the girl away. At this moment, the phone in the pocket announced the arrival of a message. Ming just opened up to see his brother lending usury immediately appeared in 3D form, both pointing and shouting loudly. "You got 15 days left on your ass if you don't pay. Wash your ass and get ready to pick up your guests." The man's life is such a mess. Maybe this time he'll be finished. If the water gets to your feet and you don't jump, you drown. Ming hurriedly tried to make a card. He held the design of the 1-star energy card in his hand. He vaguely felt the process of making the card in his head. First he took out a blank card, then let the energy in his body slowly flow into the card, along the tip of the pen, turning it into a dark line. The pattern of this template is the same as the small programs of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division learned in the introduction to programming. This is not difficult for him. The card was done, he was happy and then bored to throw it in a corner. Because relying on a 1-star energy card won't solve the problem at all. The other brother gave him 15 days. Even if you make a card every day for 20 hours, you can only earn a maximum of 100 yuan. Imagining the scene of chrysanthemums blooming, he was afraid to hug his butt and cry loudly. Coincidentally, a chubby boy ran in from the outside, just met and proved extremely close. He knows this man, his name is Zhang Xiaochu. The illusion department and a schoolmate of the dead Ming. As soon as he knew that the enemy was an illusionist, his mood was as happy as catching gold. He invited him into the store, by the way, to help make a fantasy card for himself. As a close friend, Zhang Xiaochu said that he would give him a 99% discount. Not stopping there, he also took out the computer to calculate the costs incurred when making cards. "Come on, Brother Lu, what do you want? A girl, the lolly, or the queen?" "Yes, SM has to add more money, wait a minute for me to calculate it." Zhang Xiaochu just pressed the computer and muttered. Hearing this, Ming was black-faced. He loudly told him to gather all those wretched thoughts into his head. What Ming wanted him to do was an illusion about fruit. To clarify, he took a piece of paper and quickly wrote down what he needed. Zhang Xiaochu said that this was just a child's affair. He then created a design in his own hands. Next, compress the data, then directly give it to Ming so that he can transfer it to his card. The first complete card he made by himself was successful, temporarily called the watermelon illusion. Although it is only a 1-star card, it has an unexpected use. Whether you can save his chrysanthemum or not, he has to hit the market to continue talking. 10 days later, a handsome guy traveling with his girlfriend discovers a large group of people gathered in front of him. The angle shifted to the right angle, causing everyone's heart to break. They both get close to a store, only to find out that they're selling the experience to users. 100 yuan for one experience, according to the advertisement. This is the secret of a strong civilian master. Those who can hold on for 100 seconds will receive a reward of 10,000 yuan. The first person to join the experience already exists. Ming happily invited the guy in front of him to experience it. No doubt, until he stooped down to find the real challenger standing below eye level. This man was not tall, but he forced the whole world to look down when talking. The one who would experience it firsthand, before playing the cold-haired brother who threatened him. If Ming deceives him, he will sue Ming to the Consumer Association. Ming happily secured his honor, then pressed the button to take the player to the experience area. The pink-haired brother had just appeared at the illusion. His face immediately stiffened because of its miraculous success. Playing a fruit-cutting game with graphics like this will ruin all eyes. Just as he was about to report a shop violation, a watermelon fell. A few seconds later, from the top of his head, countless watermelons appeared like a shower. Aftershocks leave people shocked, extremely difficult. Rumors spread far away. Soon people from everywhere massively came. Everyone wants to know what is inside the illusion. The manipulation mentality is pushed up. More and more people pay to experience the earliest. Ming stood still watching the money flow into his pocket. He smiled. With this situation, he would pay off his debt quickly. Watermelon ninja fever spread to the ears of the big bosses. The man who was drinking tea was stopped by the news. According to the words of 2 lower-level employees, in this game, just being hit by watermelon 3 times will end the experience. The fastest time is only 34 seconds. Within a few hours, the shop owner was able to earn more than 10,000 yuan from a single card. As a businessman, The man who heard this felt a little trembling in his hands. He put the cup of tea down on the table, and began to think in his mind. A 1-star card can cause such a big shock. Of course, it can also create a shock in other places. If he gets these cards, as well as understanding how it works, once he gets them to his superiors for mass production, he will have a chance to advance in the future. Get the car ready, I'm sure I'll get this card. He's talking to 2 of his staff.